Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakradash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor Camp here in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And this right here, as you see on the screen, man, this was their plan all along. All right, this is what this is all about. All right, this from zerohedge.com. It says fiat currencies are going to fail spectacularly. Lawrence Leopard. All right, and if you don't know what fiat currency is, you know, if you got a dollar on you, all right, or a 10 or a 20 or a 50 or 100, all right, that's fiat currency, man. It's paper money, all right. Which actually, real quick, I'm gonna look up the definition of a fiat currency. All right, let's get an actual definition of it. Let's go ahead and get a proper definition of it real quick. I'll just read this from right here from Britannica. All right, fiat money. Fiat money, in a broad sense, all kinds of money that are made legal tender by a government decree or fiat. The term is, however, usually reserved for legal tender paper money or coins that have face values far exceeding their commodity values and are not redeemable in gold or silver. So, United States, the U.S. dollar was taken off of the gold standard. Let's look up. Let's see what year that was. Now, bear with me. It's going to come full circle through the spirit. Right here it's saying June 5th, 1933. I believe there was a later date, though. Okay, it's saying 1971. That's the one I'm pretty sure. President Richard Nixon closed the gold window in 1971 in order to address the country's inflation problem and to discourage foreign governments from redeeming more and more dollars for gold. So basically, before this time, I was just speaking about something in 1933 as well. I'm gonna have to look into that, but the one that we've been taught is 1971. All right. Before that, you know, basically what, you know, you dealt with gold and silver, because that's, you know, that's real money. Okay. That's what men in the ancient times dealt with. Now here in America, you know, they printed these FRNs, Federal Reserve notes, that used to be able to, you know, if you look at an old like an old $5 bill or something, you know, you would be able to go and pretty much go to the bank and redeem that paper, you know, that paper money for your actual silver or gold. Well, you can't do that anymore. Right now, the only reason why the U.S. dollar is, you know, you're able to buy with it is because that's what they use, you know, to buy oil. You know, that's what's accepted. All right, but soon you're coming into a time where it's no longer going to be viable. It's no longer going to be accepted, and they're going to introduce a new currency. Okay, and we're going to get into it. It says, friend of fringe finance Lawrence Leopard released his most recent investor letter a few weeks ago with his updated take on monetary miasma spreading across the globe. Larry had joined me for several interviews last year, and I believed him to truly be one of the muted voices that that the investing community will be better off for considering. He's the type of voice that gets little coverage in the mainstream media, which, in my opinion, makes him someone worth listening to. Whatever. It says before Russia invaded Ukraine, Larry predicted that a crack up boom could be on its way, and also offered him take on gold, inflation, monetary policy, Bitcoin, fiscal policy, the ongoing supply chain crunch, and much more. The analysis is included. Now, the invasion of Ukraine has helped catalyze a number of his predicted scenarios. Here are several French finance experts from Larry's thoughts on the Ukraine invasion and the markets heading into 2022 from prior to the invasion. All right, it says Russia invading Ukraine has caused a monetary earthquake. What just happened in the last 2 weeks is enormously important and misunderstood by many investors. The Russian invasion of Ukraine and the corresponding Western sanctions and seizure of Russian FX or foreign exchange reserves are nothing short of a monetary earthquake. The last comparable event was Nixon's abandonment, there it is, of the gold standard in 1971. So this is something that's very big. All right, and once again, the Lord, has put it in. He works on the minds of the kings of the earth to fulfill His will. All right, so it seemed like it was a small conflict. It seemed like it didn't really matter, but we're seeing that it's actually causing a lot of economic turmoil. It says Russia, with the backing of and support of China, just told the world that it is no longer going to sell its oil, gas, and wheat for Western currencies, which are programmed to debase. Which Russia, pretty much was a part of something that was newly created within the last few years called BRICS. All right, which I believe is you have Brazil, Russia, India, China, and I think there's like another one or something like that. All right, but they basically said that they weren't going to deal with the U.S. dollar. So these countries are in the spirit of abandoning U.S. currency. So this kind of just pushed Russia on out the door, right? It says once again, Russia, with the backing and support of China, just told the world that it's no longer going to sell its oil, gas, wheat for Western currencies, which are programmed to debase. The West, in its response, just said to all countries around the world, if you have foreign exchange reserves held in our system, they are no longer safe if we disagree with your politics, man. And that just shows you, and when they say West, they're mainly talking about NATO and the EU. All right, and that whore that sits upon NATO and the EU, all right, is the United States, man. All right, because you see how they're able to. I was listening to some. They're able to put all these sanctions on these countries if they don't agree with what they have going on. You see what they just did to Russia. There's no denying that America is, all right, biblically Babylon the Great, man. All right, they're in control of the earth. It says Russian foreign exchange reserves. It is similar to what the Canadians did when they moved to seize the bank accounts of Canadians who had demonstrated support for the truckers without due process of law. Both of these political moves are blatant advertisements for what I call non-state control without money, without counterparty risk, like gold and Bitcoin. If governments can weaponize their money when they do not like what you're doing, what is the natural defense? And that's going to ultimately translate when they start introduce that digital dollar, all right, and they put that digital all right, the MOTB, that CHIP within you. If you do something that they do not like, they have the control and power to cut you from that system, man. I said gold will rip higher because of what Russia is doing. The U.S. dollar has been the reserve currency of the world since World War II in the Bretton Woods Agreement, right? So this has given the U.S. an enormous advantage and subsidy from the rest of the world because everyone else needs to produce goods and services to obtain dollars, and the U.S. can simply produce dollars at no cost by printing them. And they've already been devaluing the current, the U.S. dollar currency by way of all these spending bills, going trillions of dollars in debt, and it's not backed by anything. So the value of what you can get with that dollar is depleting. It says Putin is now casting the role of Charles de Gaulle, who complained about the exorbitant privilege of the U.S. with its dollar hegemony. which is true. All right, which I'm gonna have to step outside because they're playing fucking bullshit music now. Salaki. Yeah, it's cold out here though, but it's all good. All right, it says as we all know, the Gao demanded gold in exchange for France's U.S. dollar foreign exchange surpluses, and this outflow forced Nixon to close the gold window. It says, which I'm gonna go down a little bit. Which Russia, all these different countries have been pretty much up in their gold supply, man. All right, because that, once again, the United States dollar is not backed by gold anymore. All right, and if they want to stop dealing with the U.S. dollar, gold is still technically money, right? It's just, it's just not the main currency, all right, the main form of trade, but it can be, and that's what these countries plan on using. All right, but they also are going to deal with these digital, because ultimately, man, the main goal of these elites is to bring in this digital reset. A global reset dealing with a digital dollar, a digital currency. Of course, they either want America to control it or somebody. All right, but it's going to be fully, what's that word that they, was it decentralized? Or it might be something else. Or it might be centralized, actually. It might, they want to control it, basically. So, it just goes into this. All right, but basically you have, they're basically, this is a statement from a guy that obviously studies finance and whatnot. But these fiat currencies are about to crash, man, and that's going to make way for this. All right, we're going to cut right to it. All right, we know what time. This was their plan all along, man. All right, and now it's just playing out. That was the perfect crisis dealing with Russia and Ukraine to bring this about, man. Because now they're talking about cyber warfare. All right, and basically, if the United States gets hit with a major cyber attack, man, rendering the banks from being able to give people their money, because all these banking systems are fractional reserve banks, so they only hold so much cash on hand, and if people want to withdraw their money, they're not going to have enough cash to get them to get these people their money, man. It's going to cause all out chaos. But let's go to the end all be all of what this is going to cause. This is Revelation chapter 13. And verse, we'll go right to the point. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that word mark is charagma. All right, it's that CHIP, that's going to be inserted inside of people. All right, and how are they going to cause all? They're going to do it because they're going to crash the current system. You're not going to be able to, you got these rappers that spread all this money up their arm. They say, you even have investors that say cash is king. Well, that cash, that paper money is going to be worth shit soon, man. Very, very soon. All right. First of all, inflation is already at an all-time high. Hyperinflation is on the way. And what you're going to be able to do with that dollar, all right, is going to be greatly depleted. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot with it, right? So that's how they're going to cause all, and they're going to ultimately, and then we know that as the hour of temptation, because you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to set up business. You're not going to be able to buy anything without that CHIP, man. All right, which they're going to cause everybody to receive. All right, whether it be, pretty much threatening their jobs like they did with the whole V, threatening your livelihood or threatening to put you in a fucking camp, man. The Lord warned us about these things. All right, but the elect is not going to receive that MOTB. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's going to be that new system. All right, if you want to function in day-to-day life and day-to-day society, you're going to need that thing, man. And these other camps are beginning to look real foolish. Okay, they're looking real foolish because they said the MOTB was something that it wasn't. All right, they're taking away from the scriptures, and the Lord going to get these guys for that. All right, but nonetheless, man, we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, our apostles and elders were on point when it came to this, man. But this is what they basically want to bring about. This is why these fiat currencies are going to crash. This is why, they might even do something with the current cryptocurrencies, man. Okay, because they want to be in full control of your transactions. They're going to track every single transaction, man. All right, nothing's going to go unnoticed, and it's all about that power. And if you do anything against what they say, okay, or if you speak out against them, they're gonna cut your shit off, man. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell or do anything, man. You're gonna become a pariah, so to speak. So this is what this is leading to. Okay? So I just want to bring that out through the spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.